Guys, forgive me, there was a tornado that just came through the shop and my desk took a beating here. The 1989 BMW GS, the Boxer Motor 1000, the performance bike that BMW built for on-off-road use with the shaft drive. This is a bike that's meant to go cross-country, on and off the road, and I'm about to show you guys something very special. Anything 70s or 80s Boxer motor in this category from BMW is going through the absolute roof, and they're getting to be where they're almost out of the hands of the casual collector or enthusiast. Value-wise, we're talking. I haven't gone through this stack of literature, but I'll tell you, a couple weeks back, this gentleman, a local gentleman, came to us with this BMW I'm about to show you. You have to see the stock bike first, because our bike I'm about to show you has been completely recommissioned. The motor's been rebuilt, white power forks, Olin shock, and we took a custom twist on the bike, upgraded saddle. The bike's got all kinds of tour tech options. The very high quality touring on off-road stuff that Tour Tech is a phenomenal company. I'm going to show you everything that's on the bike, but first, I take my documentation and we're going to go find a safe spot for it and get out there and show you what the bike's capable of. When I think Boxer twin from the 70s and 80s, I think, you know, cruise around town. To be honest with you, I didn't know that this model existed until a couple weeks back. So this bike, my test ride this morning, made me, well, it kind of opened my eyes to what these bikes are capable of in this configuration when tuned properly. This one has, I believe it's an Answer exhaust, and it just absolutely barks. It's got the Olin shock on it, which is made for this bike, remote reservoir, the turn signal kit, and the previous owner had I have just stacks and stacks and stacks of receipts that will be noted in the description. The complete list and all the receipts, everything is going to be given to the new owner. All kinds of upgrades on this bike. It just dollars and dollars like you wouldn't believe. Spoke wheel set. Motor's been completely rebuilt with receipts. Custom light package. Here's a custom guard up here. The Acerbis hand guards, the Bark Busters Magura controls. We have a custom set of LED lights, which is intelligently wired onto the handlebars here. Super bright battery gauge. All kinds of custom trickery that was done by this garage mechanic, and it was very well done. Everything on the bike is functional. Center stand still intact. I'm going to stop flapping my gums and jump on it and ride it for you guys so you can see what the hype is about. White power forks with the Olin shock. This bike is easy to flick around rather, and it's just an absolute joy to ride. I hope that I can do the bike justice here with what we're about to do on this test ride. Choke on the bars, typical 80s Beamer. A little cold-blooded at first. So weren't they all. I'm going to let the bike warm up while I kind of talk about it a little bit more. The authentic BMW electronic RPM meter, gauge delete with this endurance analog speedometer. All of your indicator lights, all your idiot lights are still functional. Bar modification, the bars were pulled back quite a bit. IMS mirror adapters. The crash guards on the motor. This is a bike that was set up for on-off-road use, on top of what was a model meant for that. But the previous owner took it to the next level. And we went ahead and changed the decals, did a complete, what's up Moses? Did a complete reproduction set of the 1000 and made it the black and red, which that was Senior's idea, and I love what he did with it. I saw people were calling it the Bumblebee. These white power forks in the Olin shock are sprung perfectly. It's a very well balanced machine. What's up, Chris? So I took the choke off now. It's starting to get a little warmer. just an extremely well-tuned example. And the brakes are just on point, guys. The controls in riding the bike is what this one is all about. This bike is made for taking out and just riding wherever you want without obstacles. It's virtually vibration free, and it's just tuned so well. It's ridiculous. It's smooth power, but it's strong. Like, I wheelied it up the hill earlier today. I'll try and replicate that for you guys. I'm not beating on it, just experiencing the power here. The brakes are just on point, and it's just an absolute blast to ride. Digital speedometer here, as well as an oil temp gauge installed by the previous owner, which is full custom. And guys, this is just an absolute beautifully running 80s BMW Boxer, which I can rarely get my hands on these days. Like I was talking about, there's guys in the classifieds that are asking large dollars for stock R90s. I mean, even bikes needing restoration, the prices have just gone totally through the roof. This one has a complete build document, which I will note in the description exactly what we have, and we'll go sit at my desk and go over exactly what I have on the bike. First time for me and first time for you guys. Front end comes right up. Answer exhaust. It's just, oh man. Talk about street presence. I mean, I was talking to my buddy Ray, who's a car collector, and he volunteers down here at the museum all the time, and I'm looking for another daily, and he's at this point, man, just look for something cool. And that's the same train of thought that these vintage collectors that buy these bikes as investments are thinking about. They're looking for riders that have the cool factor, and this has it. I mean, it has it. It's got the curb appeal. It's got the look. I mean, long travel boxer performance bike with the hot suspension options. I mean, the white power, Shane was telling me that these were made to order for this bike. It's an aftermarket set of clamps, so I'm going to get as many notes as possible on it as far as the build history, but I got nothing left to say, guys. Clear title on it and all the build notes. I'm going to go ahead and cut the camera back up to the showroom, or we'll go over the documentation. See you in a sec. What do you think, Moses? What do you think, man? I got a lot of documents to go over, so.
Real bike. Originally made in Germany.
That's right.
And guys, I love this bike so much that I wanted to keep it for myself.
Hey, I'm thinking the same thing, Moses. Hey, how was that ride on the Husqvarna you had a couple weeks back? How was the ride on that Husqvarna that you had?
Oh man,
you're getting into the saddle, huh?
It was the real thing, man. So folks, don't waste time. Buy it now, otherwise I'll keep it.
Yeah, right. Well, guys, good luck finding another Boxer that's set up like this from '89, the performance model. I'm gonna do as much homework as possible, give you guys all the facts. Let me see. Whole registration history. This has been in the hands of the same man for several years. I'll give you guys all the facts in the description here. This is a handlebar vibration decreaser device, which is probably why the bike feels like it's completely vibration free. I had no idea that was on there. Hydraulic preload. There's just receipts like you wouldn't believe, guys. This is my first time the white power suspension part number. This is specific for the GS model. Motor rad. I mean, this guy was just meticulous. He saved everything. Intake valve stuff, racing valve spring kit. So it's got racing valve springs and a complete motor rebuild, which the specs in the receipts are in here. The performance Magura components here. Let me see here. This is the new ignition. The oil filter with literature on that. Let me see. Oh, wow. He purchased brand new carburetors and brand new cylinder heads. It was a receipt for almost over $1,000, or like $933 to be exact. Bob's BMWs and specialty. This is a carb kit that he bought. New battery. These are service receipts that date way back, way back. Okay, this is 2004. We're going to crank seal, timing chain, ignition canister, the circ clips. There's no mileage, but I'm gonna get the facts for you guys and figure out exactly what we're dealing with here. The complete top end kit here, including the head gaskets, rings in the pistons. Let me see. Oh, the dyno chart. Here's the dyno chart, guys. Hey, look at this. Look at this. All right, so it's making peak horsepower way down low, and has. Let's see if I can read this right. 2 dyno run, 4 dyno run, more. This is okay, under different conditions. The base run, and then Omega long skirt is the red line, which they're showing close to 80 horse, which is pretty absurd. I wonder what the stock numbers are, but it makes sense. This thing is, I mean, it runs clean and it runs strong. The ring set, push rod seals, head gasket, all the receipts for the motor work that was done. Just an outrageous amount of literature here. The bike is super tight and it needs nothing. Our guys just went over it. In regards to the electricals, it works perfectly. The aftermarket lights, all the idiot gauges, or rather, it lights the new endurance speedometer, trip gauge, etc. All that is functioning as it should. Guys, this is taking me a long time to go through this. We'll have everything written up in the description. Let me see. Let me see if there's anything else notable. Complete new starter, carrier charge. Guys, when we're talking about values of classic motorcycles, having a folder like this is exactly what the guys that are buying them are looking for, because it shows that, well, someone cared about it. Typically, you file receipts away after you pour a lot of dollars into an asset like this. This has been in the same hands for years and years and years. I wish Senior was here to give his 2 cents, because he purchased the bike from the gentleman who came into the shop and dropped this off. Look at the factory suspension fork kit. Holy cow. Oh boy. White power fork kit, $2,000. So it was serviced by Factory Connection at one point. Let me see if I can get a date on this. Let me, about 20 years ago, the forks were completely recommissioned. Although it's sprung perfectly for the bike, exactly how you'd want it. I'm about 200 pounds. The bike feels extremely well balanced, depending on the type of riding that you're doing. I wouldn't touch this thing, honestly. Looks like we have a wheel that was replaced, a 21-inch front wheel. I'm not sure if this bike came with a 21-inch front. If it didn't, that's definitely the hot setup. Any performance on off-road machine, you're gonna want a larger front wheel. Aside from the build notes, our notes in the shop here. Let me see. Let me pull out our note here. New seat cover and foam on the OEM base. Oil change with a new oil filter. Gear oil checked, looked great. Set the tire pressure. The bevel gear oil checked. I believe that's well, it was 2 gear, set the gear oil, set the tire pressure to spec, and then the bike was washed by hand, tank buffed and waxed. Now, several of the yellow accents were blacked out as a cosmetic feature. The decals were reproduced to be red. And those are custom decals there. As for the parts, new seat and seat foam, new Maxima oil, and then the high flow filtro oil filter, and the custom graphics, which we have written up for good dollars. So fair investment by the company here. The bike is going to be offered at well, tough to find comparable examples to this one. So we're going to price it where we believe is fair. Any questions, please call the shop line 860-454-7024. Sorry if I'm kind of a bit scrambled and rambling on about this one, guys, but it's truly just a substantial folder of here on the bike that we have, and service records that need to be deciphered and typed up in an intelligent manner. Message us your zip code for a quote. If you're really interested, click the link in the description. Check out the auction on this one and call us with any questions. Thanks for watching this far, guys. Good luck bidding. God bless America.